As a quick refresher, we're going to do a cube, a cylinder, and a sphere with values to describe the form. So we're going to go from a shape to a form using values. And I'm going to first draw the horizon line like we've been doing all the time up here. Get in the habit of thinking about your horizon line. First thing I'm going to do in the middle is I'm going to do a cube. So the cube's going to go to a vanishing point, just like that, and to another vanishing point on the other side. So it's going to be a cube in kind of a severe angle. We want to start intuiting this. I'm actually displaying it just for your edification, but you need to start intuiting 2-point, 3-point, or 2-point and 1-point perspective. So there I have a cube, three-dimensional form in contour line. So it's a shape that implies form. Next thing I want to put onto the side next to it is a cylinder. Just like we've been doing. And just not quite there. Alright, so we have a cylinder. Keep working on it. And a sphere. Nice circle. Now you can use any ruler or object that you need to help you make these. I'm going to do everything freehand right now. Alright, so the first thing I want to know, as I want to create some value here, is I want to know where my light source is. And I'm going to be dealing with a single light source. It gets too complex to draw forms with multiple light sources or forms that have translucent surfaces. So we're going to think of one light source and solid surfaces. So I'm going to take one light source that's coming from this direction, from the top left, up here. So this is where my light's going to come through here. What that means is that the top of my cylinder, and I'm going to have that as a flat cylinder, that's going to be light. The top of my box or cube is going to be light, and an area of my sphere is going to be light. But before I move forward, and I'm going to give you a little different approach here. I want you to shade actually the whole page. So everything on the below the horizon line, I'm going to make a change here real quick. Everything below the horizon line, I want you to shade with the stroke of your pencil going horizontal. And you can do this over everything, because you're going to use your eraser. So you can shade everything underneath the horizon line, going in a horizontal line. You can go all the way across. All right? And then above the horizon line, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to go up and down. So just like cross contour lines, we're going to use our mark, shading marks, to follow the surfaces of everything. So I'm going to imply that the surfaces change direction by changing the direction of my mark. All right? So that's what I'm going to use there. And I'm going to use this eye level horizon line as the kind of like the back of the table. And we can clean this up. And I will clean all this up as we progress with the drawing. All right? So the first thing I want to do is I want to clean up where the light is going to be, because I don't want to have that getting too dark. So I want to make sure the top of this is lit. Top of this is lit with our light source. And in this area right here on the sphere. Now, to create form with value, there are 5 basic values that you're going to be dealing with. You're going to deal with the highlight, which is the top of these. You're going to deal with the midtone. So there's highlight, midtone, then, and that's going to be right off the highlight. And then there's going to be what's called a core shadow right here. That's where core shadow will be the darkest part of your form. And I'm going to be showing you more of that. And then you're going to have, oops, forgive me, I just went off of this. And then you're going to have the reflected light, which will be right underneath the core shadow right here. And then you're going to have the cast shadow, which is going to be something like this, or like that right here in this cube. Same thing here. This is going to go in the same direction. Now I'm going to show you more of that as we go on. So we have the highlight, the midtone, the core shadow, the reflected light, and then the cast shadow. So I'm going to start with the cube right now. I'm going to just kind of start drawing in the cube, and I'm going to use this is going to be my dark side because the sun is coming from this way, or the light is coming from this. And this ridge here is going to be the darkest. So this ridge here, right here, is going to be what I would call the core shadow, right here on the cube. And you're going to see that I'm going to go up and down and across the surface. I'm going to keep going in a straight line across those surfaces. Now here is going to be the midtone. This is going to be the midtone of the cube. So it's not going to be that dark. I'm going to draw the outline a little dark though, so that you can see it clearly. Alright, and of course the top is going to be the highlight. So right here is the hard core shadow, and right here on this part of the dark side is going to be the reflected light. So it's going to go from really dark right here, my darkest dark, with the sharpest edges, and it's going to get lighter to kind of a gray light, not a really light light. And then right here we have the cast shadow. The cast shadow is going to be sharpest right at the edge, right where closest to the object. And then it's going to get blurry the further away it gets from the object. And you can use your finger to blend. There's going to be a highlight right here as well once we get everything in. I'm not going to finish this drawing, but you are. I'm just going to get this going. The next thing I want to do here, I'm going to shift over to the sphere right now, okay? So with the sphere, what I want to do is I really want to build out that form, the circular form, and I want to build it out from the core shadow area, and then to get it to wrap around the entire form. So I'm right here, I'm working on the reflected light area. I'm going to make it a little bit darker than the midtone, or actually I'm going to make it a lot darker. I'm just going to keep building. You're going to have to spend a lot of time to build these values. And I don't have this perfectly round, but hey, it is what it is. Here's where it's going to get darkest, and then it's going to get on the cast shadow, on the ground, the cast shadow. It's going to be smooth it into each other. Again, this is going to be the highlight right there, then the midtone, and then right
right here is going to be the core dark shadow. And keep working it around. Keep working it around. And I'm also going to darken the table surface around there. Making sure. I'm going to get my Japanese pencil.
I probably will be making the or speeding up the video for a little bit so you don't have to sit through all of this. So the basic thing here, you got some glare in this, is that I've got the lines on the surface of the tabletop going one direction. I've got the lines in the shade going in another direction, indicating that there's been a turn in the surface. Same thing with the bottom here. And with every form I'm going across, I'm trying to go across in a diligent way, kind of being cognizant of where that form is going, what direction it's heading in. And even my eraser, when I make erasures, I try to go in the direction of the surface that I'm on. So basically what you have is you have your highlight, your midtones, your hard core, or what we call a core shadow, then your reflective light, and then your cast shadow.